Welcome back to the Shortcut Live. We are live in New York City, and we also have Adam in the UK. I'm with Max Bondano, Kevin Lee, and this is our consumer tech show, all about consumer technology. And we are coming to you live at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you're watching this, that's pretty much the current time when we go live. We have a little 5-minute countdown. But we have a lot to talk about today in the world of consumer tech. We go over this every day, but we have some new surprises, a jam-packed show. We have the Sony WF-1000 XM6 headphones. They're a mouthful. We have a review of them, but they're really, really good. We also have a pink version of Sony's headphones right here. So it went to a little pink party that they threw, and we had a nice time there. We dressed up. You'll see pictures. It was great. So after that, we have Snap Spectacles. It's the same hardware, but they upgraded the operating system and the amount of content they have. So games, we got to check that out yesterday. A lot of new AI functions. It's interesting because they're kind of taking the middle approach, not quite what Apple Vision Pro is doing, not quite what the Meta glasses are doing. It's just like somewhere in the middle. It could be the future of what we're experiencing with wearables.
100%.
Yeah. And then we got Pokepedia, Pokemon meets Animal Crossing. So that is in the rundown. Insta360 is coming out with a new camera. So to rival the DJI Pocket 3, one of my favorite gadgets. Kevin loves that as well. We constantly fight over who gets our review unit. So that fact that Insta360 Luna is coming out, maybe Kevin, you can take the DJI.
All right, great. I'll take it. Oh no, actually, I'll take the other one.
Oh, too late. Damn. This is how many stories we have. We got a lot more. Apple keeps running into problems with its Gemini AI powered Siri. So the update that you were expecting, gonna have to hold on for a little bit longer for that one. So that's the big Apple news that is out with probably iOS 26.3 updates that are happening. So let's go back to the top of the rundown. Talk about these Sony WF-1000 XM6 headphones. They're as good as the name is confusing. We have Adam Vajesica in the house. He's in the UK. He's back. Sorry, the pink carrier, mail carrier missed you, Adam. But next time.
Yeah, I look good in pink, so it's everyone's loss, not mine.
We'll see you at the wedding in. You're wearing one of these, right?
Yeah, it's to be decided by the bride. I don't think she'll let me, but we'll see.
The groomsmen will be wearing these.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
You're ready.
So, all right, let's talk about these Sony headphones. Top story. We invite your comments. We're streaming on X, Instagram, YouTube, and Substack. So now there's a Substack TV app. You can Boom in the Sky says, put the music to Pink Pony Club for the pink jackets.
Yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you know what Pink Pony Club is?
I know that song.
And who sings Pink Pony Club?
Rochelle Ronan.
Rochelle? You're right. You're
Ronan?
100% right. That's it. Rochelle Rowan.
All right.
Oh.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mr. It's Chapel Roan, but
There
you
we
were
go.
very close.
I'm glad I didn't get it right.
You show your age once in a while. Rochelle. Oh, Rochelle.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Chaperona. Yeah. Anyway, I got a half credit on that one.
Yeah.
We are going to the top story, which is the Sony XM6 headphones. Kevin, you test these out?
Yeah. Actually, they're the earbuds.
Earbuds,
yeah. I know it's like awful to keep going through between the two because we're talking about both. So I'm actually wearing them right now, and they're, I'd say, the top earbuds with an asterisk.
Okay, tell us what's that caveat?
Yeah, so it's better on Android because you get spatial sound and better head tracking at all. And then it's also $329, which is pretty much the price of a pair of Sony headphones instead of earbuds. Now the thing about these is they basically pack the power, the sound quality, and the noise canceling of the WH-1000 XM6, that's the headphones, into earbud shape. So noise canceling is way better, has 8 microphones, It has a new processor to process the noise canceling. It has the most balanced sound range I've ever heard. So you get like deep bass, you get really clear mids and crisp highs all at the same time. It's really impressive, but it also costs a lot.
So they're 11% thinner profile than what the previous ones.
Yeah, but they're taller. And they're a little bit more bulbous. They look kind of like lima beans.
So it helps prevent like accidental touches and, you know, with the control press, because there's controls directly on these earbuds, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's
there's like a little bit more space to hold it. And then you don't like end up touching the touch area, which is right there. Yeah.
So not a STEM design like we've seen with Apple, with Samsung, with others.
Yeah.
They just they definitely look like lima beans. I completely agree. With
yeah.
that. Kevin's been wearing these around the studio for a while. I was checking out the design. I think like last week he was showing me. One of my biggest issues with the previous version was just like the fact that the foam was like so thick, it was like uncomfortable in my ears.
They went too hard on the foam.
Yeah, but this one does like a silicone foam blend, right? It's like sort of,
so it isn't, but it does feel like it's a softer foam.
Oh, interesting.
I asked Sony, hey, has this been like reformulated or redesigned? They haven't gotten back to me on that answer yet.
I thought it was in like a similar vein to the AirPods Pro 3.
No, those are still way more comfortable because you get the seal of the foam, but you also get like the comfort of the silicone.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that hasn't happened with Sony yet, as far as I know. Maybe it'll come back to me and be like, yeah, that's exactly what we did.
They're also $80 less than the Sonys.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is the sound quality that much better?
I think
to justify the price,
like,
really?
There's certain people who love that Sony sound, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like these headphones. And if you want that in earbuds, this is probably your best choice. But, you know, some people are used to getting other brands, and the AirPods, you know, kind of work for them. So it's really just a user preference at that point. What sound and what comfort level they enjoy.
Do you notice them sitting in your ears after a while?
No, actually, they're really comfortable because also like that thinner profile means it's like pressing less on the bottom and top of my ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the foam is like it's softer, so it doesn't feel as bad. It's also like these things don't come out like they like the old pair. Like it would just come out when I was at the gym, when I was walking around, when I bent over.
I could just like never achieve a good fit at all.
Boom in the Sky says, okay, question to everyone. Do you prefer kidney bean form or stick form factors on your earbuds? Because like, again, that's either what we're seeing here with the Sony earbuds. Samsung Galaxy Buds usually have that, or previously had that, but then they switched to the stick form, which is more like the Apple AirPods.
Stick. I think only because of the controls. Like if I'm trying to push an earbud back into my ear, I'm going to wind up pausing my music, and I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
With the AirPods, I have to like pinch the stem to pause music. So if I just like grab it slightly and just sort of twist it back in, my music isn't going to be interrupted.
Okay.
Yeah. I go for buds, but also like I usually have Jabra, like RIP. They don't really make consumer earbuds anymore, but also SteelSeries kind of picked up after them. They have like physical buttons you can press or not press when you push in. Yeah, I just like the smaller profile. I know sticks have like more controls on them, especially AirPods. I like the buds shape more.
See, I like what I have on, which is the Sony XM6 headphones, right? Because I'm able to, you know, it's a larger touch surface, which is really nice, and I'm able to, you know, swipe through songs versus something like the AirPods, which I also wear. I do have to like pinch twice and like remember how many pinches to skip a song and stuff like that. This one, just a little more easier, just a flatter plane. Adam, what do you use? You're a headphone aficionado.
Yeah, I prefer stick as well. It just makes more sense because if I'm grabbing, I'm using that like pinching motion to grab them, while with a kidney bean, I'd probably be tempted to go in with 3 fingers. It doesn't make as much ergonomic sense to me. I like the stick now. I used to hate it when obviously the AirPods were first revealed because they looked like toothbrush heads because they were far too long. But when they slimmed them down, you know, for the Pro, I think that's absolutely perfect. And like Max said, it's just easier to control it when you just pinch this, you know, press down on the stem or tap it or whatever like that. The thing that bothers me most about these Sony earbuds and the headphones is when are they going to stop this naming convention?
I know.
The WF1000 XM6, and then I'm looking at the headphones you've got on, Matt, and they're the WH1000X. It's surely they've got all these market researchers and everything, and this is just confusing to anyone.
Yeah, Sony told us, like, we asked them this too, because they did their Sony Ult series, they did the Bravia series, they did those renames. They told us the 1000X series has like prominence or renown for like the best headphones and earbuds, so that's why they stuck with that. I don't know why they just don't go with like, just
something a bit more
X headphones.
Yeah,
or something
it literally looks like a product code rather than an actual, kind of like a brand like AirPods, and it's just I just don't understand why. I get that some people will associate, but if it's to be totally mainstream, you'd think you'd just call them something like the Sony Earbuds 2, the Sony Earbuds 3. I don't know.
We have a comment from Jose saying, "Who's the guy on the right not matching with the professionals?"
Who's the guy on the right? I'm the big deal on this show. I'm Adam. I'm from the UK.
Adam doesn't match our accent and the colorway, but they don't have this color in the UK.
Yeah,
Alex Roth, I think, over there.
Alex Roth. I don't know. That's the Alex Roth from Future that we all know. But he said UK correspondent needs a pink blazer.
I know.
If I could get arrested for wearing a pink blazer in the UK, because it's stepping out of line. It's a breach of freedom of speech. Right. So I've got to wear black to be in mourning.
Yeah, but better says you brought out the pink suits. You know what? It's almost Valentine's Day. That is, likely why Sony is launching the pink headphones. That is our next story on the rundown. Yes, as Adam mentioned, the confusing name. It's not WF in this case. It's WH1000 XM6 pink headphones. The pink edition. It's sand pink, I believe, is the color. But WH stands for headphones, I guess. WF stands for, what's the F stand for?
Wireless free. I don't know.
I just don't know.
Wire free.
Right. Yeah. So these are the wireless headphones. They're pink. We have some photos from Sony. Had a little party that they threw. We have some photos of these. We have some B-roll that just came in of, and some trailers of what the headphones look like. So they're like a lighter pink color. These headphones have been out for, what is it? It came out last year.
Like, I think the last pair came out like April-ish.
April of last year.
It's been about 10 months, I think, since we got hands-on with them for the first time.
And they're so good that we use these for podcasting, which they have a wired connection, as you can see here, which I get yelled at for, not throwing behind my head. So they are very, very good in that they're great for wireless connectivity when you want over-the-ear headphones. This is from the party, as you're seeing what they look like. This is us in the pink suits. We can finally, tell you why we're wearing pink suits. We got best dressed, so they gave us some pillows. That we now have around the office.
We blatantly stole said pillows. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I was told they were for best dressed, but I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Because Jason Millian, who's sometimes in the chat, I don't know if he's here today, they also gave him a pillow, and he was not in pink.
Okay, that's not fair.
No, I have a bone to pick with Sony about that.
Dressed?
No, he wasn't even in the running.
Okay.
So, but I do appreciate Sony inviting us to this. We were some of the few guys at this party. We stuck out like a sore thumb, but we were like, all right, let's stick out even more. Let's dress head to toe in pink.
It was Instagram girlies versus the shortcut boys.
That's basically it.
That was the distinction at the party.
It
was a good time.
They said pink themed is welcomed and encouraged.
They said wear pink. So in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll like go buy a pink dress shirt or something, or get like a pink tie, and I'll just put that on.
Yeah,
we're having a meeting one day. Matt just goes, "How about we all just wear matching pink suits?"
He didn't even say that. He said, "By the way, I bought pink suits."
I was going to say,
did
he buy your suit, Max and Kevin?
Yeah,
surprisingly, yes.
Because people
how cheap Matt is, he did buy pink suits, which I was like, wow.
Yeah, that goes against the grain of Matt's,
his whole brand,
to splash out any money. And two, I didn't think you guys just randomly had a full pink suit in your closets, both of you. So,
all matching too.
Oddly enough, we didn't at the time. And he was like, you know what, guys, I got the bill. And we're like, well, you should have bought us lunch, but I guess I'll take a pink suit instead.
When did he measure you? That's what I want to know.
That's we don't talk about Matt measuring. That's
let's just
together.
Cut that and go right to the comment. Alex says listening to Pink by Aerosmith. You know what? In fact, we play music before we have to cut it every day. That is a top song that we listen to when we're listening to, what is it, Sirius XM?
Yeah.
Love that.
Jose just dropped some Pink hearts for us.
Yep.
Pink power from Jose.
Yeah.
We're gonna be filthy rich after all.
No. So these guys believe that they get $1 for every comment. Again, unconfirmed. This is not.
Where are you like at $17, $20 now?
We're like, I think we're up to like $15 probably.
Oh, we're over that.
Which is a lot for like the beginning of the show.
You know, I think it is over 15. So I'm gonna 15. Yeah.
Does that mean we have to go? I feel like we get the most comments when we have matching suits. So
right. That is true. We might need more suits.
Yeah.
What do you got in red tomorrow, guys?
Oh, God.
Okay. We need more comments.
We got those already, so we're good there.
Right.
We need more comments so Matt can pay the shipping costs so I can have a suit as well.
if Kofandi or whatever brand this is shipped to the UK, Adam, I would have you in a pink suit in a second.
Yeah. Thank you.
I want to bring up an important thing about these headphones. Not only are they out in pink, they're also on sale right now for $60 off. The price is $399 with that sale price, but it'll be $459 when it's not on sale.
And if you saw that in the thumbnail, we put $60 off in the little price tag. It is on sale. We will give you a link if you ask for it. Actually, we will put it in any and all chats, both for the earbuds and in the headphones. And of course, they're on theshortcut.com. If you go there right now, Kevin has the top story for the review of the WF-1000 XM6 earbuds. And then we have a story coming soon for the pink headphones. So matching the pink outfits. And we couldn't tell people why we were wearing it the other week before the show. So pink headphones, 4 green suits for St. Patrick's Day. Just give me ideas, Chad.
Has to be done.
Let's not encourage this behavior. As much as I want your comments, maybe we don't comment anymore.
Chad,
I feel like
that one was worth $5. I'm willing to pay $5 for a good concrete comment like that. Done.
Oh, we got one more question from Adam. Who's coming to MWC?
Oh, that is
first off, he's going to just assume we're going to wear matching suits, which I refuse to do.
Okay.
You got to wear Hamon suits when you're in Barcelona.
Interesting.
Yeah, ham.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, other than that,
matching meat dresses like Lady Gaga at the Grammys.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. That, or if you're like a vegetarian or pescatarian, you have to have like potatoes bravas suits. So
obviously, yes.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Or the butter shrimp. Or oh man, I just think about the Barcelona food.
Not potatoes bravas, patatas bravas. Adam was about to correct me. Adam and I had so much patatas bravas 2 years ago when we went. It was fun.
But do you remember when we were literally 30 seconds away from eating a plate of raw meat because we didn't know if we were supposed to eat that or not? And then they came out with, then they came out with
this?
Yeah, then they came out with a stone just as we were about to go. Actually, is this how we're supposed to have it? And then we were like, oh, thank God. No, we cook it ourselves.
It was like an old school Barcelona restaurant that we went to. And yeah, you're just sitting there and it's like, all right, they served us. I guess it's a little raw. Maybe that's just how it's primed.
Nope. Yes, it's a little raw.
You're right. And
it was raw.
And all right, just when you said like 30 seconds from eating it, there was a lapsed time of like 10 minutes while that was there, right? So we're just like, and we couldn't get anybody's attention. It was very packed and busy. They ate late in Barcelona, and we're just like, oh, it's pretty pink, but it was like pink like the suit, and we were about to go for it because like, what do you do? You're sitting there. Was
it beef at least, or was it pork?
It was. I think it was beef, right?
Yeah, it was kind of everything.
Okay. It was delicious.
Okay. So. I was going to say, never eat raw pork or
raw anything.
Yeah.
Beef is fine. But
short answer to your question, Adam, though, Matt and I will be in Barcelona for Mobile World Congress.
Yes. Yeah.
And we will wear matching something, I feel like.
It'll happen.
He's going to force me.
I mean, it's that or get fired. Like, that's not a force.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay.
All right. So we got a little sidetracked, but the new headphones, those are the 2 big Sony updates. I know a lot of you tune in for Sony stuff, having gotten like a PS5 from the PS5 restock back in the day. Sony is always a hot brand for us, and a lot of people gravitate towards that. So check out theshortcut.com. Support us. We are the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. So go there, subscribe, and check out all the content.
All right, keep the comments coming for more dollars for us.
Exactly.
Everything but that part is valid. All right. So our next story in that rundown that we had at the top of the show, it's the Snap Spectacles. Now, these have been out since like 2024. The hardware itself hasn't changed. And I keep going back and forth with these wearables that you have on your face. It is the Morty glasses, as my parents call them. They're from like, Morty Seinfeld from Seinfeld. They're thick, they're large, they're big. They're like the character from Up. Like, they're very thick glasses. But when you put them on, the operating system is very, very good, to the point where you're like, you know what, I can see this actually taking off. I've tried the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses. They're good. They just, need to work on the touch sensitivity. But we got video of these glasses, and we put them on. They're extremely nerdy.
They're strikingly big. Like, I didn't realize how big they were.
Right. But the good news is they're coming out with a consumer version.
Yeah.
In sometime this year. They wouldn't give us a date, but they did let us test out the latest version of the operating system of the games. And we had a lot of fun going to Snapchat's or Snap, their headquarters in New York City, their, other headquarters, their other office. And it was fun. Yeah. You can see how nerdy they look.
Yeah.
But they work. What do you guys think of them?
They are wildly impressive, I feel like. For the size, like, I get like how big they are for regular glasses.
Right.
But the experience you got was so similar to a Vision Pro or wearing like Samsung's Galaxy headset.
Right.
Like, the hand tracking was really good. I feel like the software was relatively bug-free, despite it being like an early like developer version of the glasses.
And it's full augmented reality.
Yeah.
Right.
Granted, in a much smaller field of view than what you get with a Vision Pro or like a proper headset like that. Like, I think they did. I don't know if they released numbers for that. I know the number, but I'm afraid to say it. I don't know if it's under embargo or not.
Right.
Or just like a secret. But the field of view is smaller. It's a lot. It's a lot smaller.
I think we could say what was it?
46, like 45 degrees. I think
45, 46 degrees.
It's very narrow, but as you turn your head, because
more
the
stuff
screen
just pops up,
moving with you. Yeah, there's more to like the field of view than you expect.
Eye tracking is really good too, I found.
Yeah. It's also the spatial tracking. It's like on par with the Apple Vision Pro, I'd say. Because like we were
roughly speaking, yes. I think the more you wore them, it seemed that the tracking was getting a little bit better because it could like sort of measure the space you were in and like the area that you were moving around.
Yeah.
Definitely by the end, I feel like it really peaked because we were playing a few multiplayer games.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. There was a painting game that we were all messing around with.
Yes.
And then whatever that early game was, I think we were all, I forget what it was called. It was a lot of fun.
It started with S. What was it, Matt?
Something.
Space Shifter? Space.
Yeah. So I played it at in Maui with a Hawaii. They showed up for Snapdragon Summit.
Yeah.
I am known for having gotten on the leaderboard, second place in this game.
You got second there, then you got first in our little tournament.
Amongst the three of us.
Yes.
It was hilarious because you were like, at one point you were just like,
oh,
because you're throwing like virtual darts.
Yeah.
I am now a pro at that game. So they have a bunch of games, some AI tools that I'm kind of interested in exploring more, like almost like a chatbot situation it looked like, measuring tools. So things where you could do hands-free productivity work. That's super interesting. And Adam, would you use these? I know they look dorky, but if they come out with a consumer version that is, I think they alluded that it might be slightly better than this version. Because I asked if they're going to pare these down to a consumer version, is it going to lose anything in terms of performance? And the hint was these next generation version, consumer versions of these Snap Spectacles are going to be even more powerful and slimmed down. Adam, what's going to take for you to wear these?
I think it's just that, like you said, they need to be so much smaller and slimmer. And I hate to say it, you look like an absolute dork wearing those, Matt. When you had, in terms of like the lenses on the front, are they transparent? Can you see right through those? Or was it doing the kind of Apple headset where it beams your eyes over? Because it kind of looked like that.
Two things. I can't believe I pay you guys and you insult me. All right.
You say that every show.
I know. And
you pay us to insult you.
Yeah. That's
pretty much.
And secondly, they have this tint functionality that is really cool, where it's not like a transition lens, but it's like an instant transition lens. You control it. I think it can happen automatically, but there's a setting in the menu where you can turn on the transition on and off, which is really cool. So they're going to come out with this consumer-friendly version. I really want that feature to stay. Also, I feel like we get, Evan, the founder and CEO of Snap, has been on TBPN, which it airs 1 hour after our show. I feel like sometimes we get really better numbers than TBPN on our live stream.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that means legally Evan has to appear on the show. So when the consumer version comes out, we would love to have Evan on the show and people from Snap, the product team, because it's something that our consumer audience is constantly curious about. And it's going to be a really cool device when it comes out. It's cutting the middle of the Meta Ray-Bans without the display are, on one hand, under-engineered, but they're out there. They look cool. They're very popular. You got the Apple Vision Pro, which is over-engineered, and I mean that as a compliment. They're great, but they're just kind of isolating, and they're too big. This is kind of cutting into the middle of, if a consumer-friendly version looks less awkward, less dorky, as we've been saying, and they have a style that I can get away with, having on a plane. I think that's going to be really important and sell because it has this display functionality. Sometimes we see TCL has the Ray Neo brand. It's like a sub-brand of TCL, and they have a display in there, but the display is not bright enough in all cases. Having the ability to clearly see like the HUD in front of you at all times. The display.
These were pretty bright. And like the early demo that we got yesterday, the screen quality I feel like was very good.
Absolutely.
For what it was.
Yeah. So
I feel like there really is a chance now for a company, like you said, just if you can hit that middle ground and give people the best of both worlds. I mean, we've got the AR glasses, XR glasses from like X-Real and Vitcher. They obviously work really well for their chosen purpose, and then the Meta Ray-Bans are a bit more, they've done very well because they look like normal glasses, and I saw quite a lot of people wearing those, seem to be getting out in the wild more. And someone just needs to nail that middle ground, like you say, where it's not a complete virtual reality headset, and it's not just a pair of glasses you connect to a screen. It's just right in the middle, looks cool, and I think, whoever does that first could be onto something.
It is the race to the middle, which is what I'm going with for the race for the perfect pair of smart glasses. Like that is where everybody wants to be. They want to be the normal looking pair of eyeglasses with all of the technology of the Vision Pro. Snap is getting very, very, very close to that in a very short amount of time. I feel like they could be the first ones to get there.
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Apple's going to be chasing this hard. It's apparently something Tim Cook is chasing after now.
If they keep chasing perfection, I don't know that they're going to get there first.
I mean, look at them with the Fold. We're 7 iterations into what Samsung is doing. They're going to have their 8th this year before an Apple iPhone Fold
puts out their first.
Right. So it's going to be a race to be first, and we'll see who brings their A game. And it's going to be an interesting year for wearables. I'm excited for what comes at Mobile Congress.
Absolutely.
Lots of fun stuff coming. Let's choose your own adventure. Let's leave it up to Kevin. We doing Pokepedia today or Insta360? What do you want?
Let's just go in order. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokepedia.
We have that.
Or
all right.
Pokepedia.
Okay. Tell us. There was a Pokemon game that released for Nintendo Switch 2. And as Adam and Kevin will attest, kind of controversial in some ways, in that it had real-time strategy attached to it. This one is also a different take.
Yeah.
It is more Animal Crossing style. So this is a big Nintendo Switch 2 game coming. Anytime we mention Pokemon, people go crazy over it. So yeah, tell me what is going on with this latest game. We played it a couple days ago, like a week ago. We were in the pig suits at the time, and people wondered if we were dressed for Nintendo. We were going to a Sony party afterwards. Tell us about this new game, and we have a little B-roll here. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a new light sim game, kind of like Minecraft, kind of like Valheim, kind of like Animal Crossing. So it's set in this sort of world where it's post-apocalyptic. Everything's just been ruined, but you're a Ditto who's been magically transferred to this world like Isekai, and you look like a human because he misses his trainer. He's trying to find his trainer, their trainer, and they look like that human, but they could transform their arms into like different like things like vines. They could blast fire. They could shoot water. And so they basically the thing about this game is you're reinvigorating the environment, bring the world back into order and shape, and that'll like cause Pokemon to show all of a sudden, and then you learn new abilities from them, and you make the setting even nicer for even more Pokemon to show up. That's the basic flow of the game. But then there's also like you can start rebuilding the civilization. You start with a Pokemon Center, and then that unlocks a PC where you can like find out what challenges to do, and I'll unlock like cosmetics and also crafting recipes to unlock even more Pokemon. It's just really like make the world better in this Pokemon world. That's the game.
I played this alongside of you, Kevin. They had two stations set up for us. You got a little further than I did because I kept resetting the game.
Yeah.
That is the problem with beta software. And I just hit a bunch of keys as I do. So you experienced it a little bit more in depth, but I had a lot of fun with what I was playing. It did remind me of Animal Crossing, but it had elements of Pokemon to it. And I liked what I was playing so far. I think a lot of Pokemon fans will gravitate towards this. I like the real-time action of the previous game that they came out with, ZA Legends. That was fun. This is just a whole different, slower take.
Yeah.
And in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah.
So, you got pretty far, but yeah, what did you think? What do you think Pokemon fans? Do you think they'll gravitate towards this or something like ZA Legends?
Yeah, I think like this is great for if you're looking for a comfy game. If you like the exploring part, like going from Pallet Town to Viridian Forest to Cerulean City, and you like that part of the game, then you'll love this because you're exploring one part of the map and you like break rocks to enter another part, or you unlock a power plant. There's also like just like the whole make your virtual life thing that people gravitate towards that. There's no combat in this game whatsoever, as far as I could tell. There's no conflict. And also it's like kind of fun with just friends because we're at one point you found one of our we were playing co-op with four players, and you found the other guy. He was just sleeping in bed, and you took out your camera and took a photo of him.
That you know what? That sounds like something I would do.
Exactly.
I'm like, Kevin, you're making that. I'm like, no, I did that.
That's on me. Yeah. And then I was just like stealing the bed from him, and I put it somewhere else to get like a mod shop to feel nicer.
The point is, I made everybody at Nintendo laugh, and that's just all that.
Yes. It was very hilarious, everyone.
Sure.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of fun playing this. Nintendo Switch 2, it gets constantly criticized, PlayStation 5 as well, that there are no games. I'm like, every month there's a new game coming out. Adam, would you agree with that? What's your thought on seeing this B-roll for the first time, and what do you think of this game and just the Nintendo's lineup for the Nintendo Switch 2? Is it worth the purchase now?
Yeah, I think this game, Pokopia, I think it is, isn't it? Or is it Pokopia? I think it's Pokopia.
Okay.
Yeah. Pokopia.
Some people pronounce it Pokotopia, but like, where are they getting T from? I don't know.
Nah, it can't be that. It's one of those ones that everyone will just get wrong, like Forza and Forza. It looks really good. I really like the elements of how you've got that, farming kind of like crafting, but you need to find and use the Pokemon to be able to like complete actions, like finding a Bulbasaur and then using one of its attacks to overcome like an obstacle, like use Squirtle's water gun to water some plants. That's really cool. I think this genre at the moment is massive as well. Like Kevin said, the cozy genre, the building genre, the Animal Crossing style. I think this could do really well. I mean, Pokemon games, it's crazy how big Pokemon is. I mean, I remember it when I was young and it was popular then. It must be like 10 times more popular now, if not more. It's just, you make a Pokemon game, they can be good, they can be bad, they can be average, they always sell well. It like prints money for Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, Matt. I feel like the criticism Nintendo Switch 2's got about not having games is overblown. One, obviously, it's great that if you buy a Switch 2, you can play every single Switch game you've ever owned, plus ones that come out and maybe don't have a Switch 2 version. So you've already got tons of games. But pretty much consistently since its launch, there's been one big key game from Nintendo every month. Now, of course, you might not be a Metroid fan. You might not even like Mario Kart if you have no soul. But they seem to release at least one big first-party game a month. I mean, I think it's literally tomorrow Mario Tennis Fever comes out. So that's February sorted. Pocopia will be following close behind. There's a new Yoshi game coming. So I think it's just one of these where I think the criticism towards PS5's games release was warranted because a lot of it was just remasters and there was big gaps, and Sony themselves have kind of like relied on mainly third-party studios to fill in the gaps. I think Nintendo's doing a pretty good job, and when you put it up against Nintendo Switch's original releases, which was crazy, had a crazy first year, but that was on the back of a terrible failed console, the Wii U, which I loved, but it was a failed console. They had plenty of time to really stack that year.
True.
This is a bit different, but they're still being consistent with the releases. So if you're not quite swayed yet, maybe a couple more months. The games keep coming. They're getting better. There's more Switch 2 exclusives. Look at this thing. You're a Ditto who's running around as a human. That's the kind of charm that I love about Nintendo games. It's ridiculous.
And Ditto is this character that is like kind of like Chameleon from Spider-Man. It's able to clone itself, right?
Yeah.
People thought the pink suits were for this Ditto character. They're like, oh, you dress up for us? I was like, actually, it's for Sony, which in their mind is their big rival because they think PlayStation.
Right.
And it was like, sorry, it's
and then they kicked us out after that.
They were like, please leave. But no, it was tons of fun being able to get early access to this game. And the fact that it's has 4-player multiplayer should be a lot of fun. I know Animal Crossing during the pandemic was a huge hit.
Oh, massive.
Yeah, was that New Horizons?
Yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons, second best-selling Nintendo Switch game of all time.
The release of that was perfect for a lot of people. So we're looking forward to this one coming out because it has tons of Pokemon aesthetics to it. So very cool. We had the My Mario stuff yesterday, last episode. Tons of Nintendo surprises to come. So stay tuned for future episodes of theshortcut.com. And our live show, The Shortcut Live. It is something we're doing every day on X, Substack, Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah. We're welcoming your comments. These guys think they get $1. I love that.
Because we do.
What do we got? I love that this time you each have the matching pink. Always trying to match. We'll get Adam there. Don't worry.
Please.
So definitely a lot of Substack people tuning in today.
I know. I keep checking our numbers. We have like 750 concurrents, which I feel like is a lot for Substack.
That is oddly a lot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. I'm not opposed to that. And like usually our main platform is X. So anytime we get a sizable in the hundreds number from any other platform, that's a really good thing to kind of tout right now in the world where AI is stealing a lot of journalism. There's great AI, and then there's not so great AI. I think we are finding a new platform, which is awesome. So going live every day and wearing, ridiculous suits. So thank you. Hello, everybody who's joining from Substack. We just must have hit some sort of algorithm, or maybe everybody's just opening up their email today and like the subject.
Yeah.
While you're on Substack, be sure to check out the website. We got Sony Sony earbud reviews.
That's the top story.
Nintendo coverage. We got laptops.
What website is that, Kevin?
Theshortcut.com.
Oh, the #1 consumer tech site on Substack. So do subscribe. Thank you very much. All right. So we got another story that is completely different. It's not gaming related, but it's Insta360, which is one of our favorite companies, especially now that DJI, I don't want to say they exited the US market, but they're having trouble selling because they pretty much got banned by the United States. Yeah. So to the point where, Adam, when you review things, you have to be the one to take on the review product because they won't ship it to the US. Yeah. So you reviewed the new like gimbal
Osmo 8.
Osmo Mobile 8,
yeah. So now there's another rival that really doesn't have that same, block as an entity. They do have a drone now, but it's Insta360, the Luna. Kevin, tell us about this. It is a rival to the DJI Pocket 4, one of our favorite gadgets.
Yeah.
Tell us what's new here and why I'm going to steal this from you when it comes in.
Right. So this is it's a 360 is basically doing a first moment when we're all waiting for the DJI Pocket 4. This thing was announced at a Insta360 annual conference, basically a big company meet, and they just showed that image, and it seems like it's going to be a dual camera gimbal on a stick camera, so you just like walk around with it, it'll auto stabilize, it'll turn. That seems like so that's the only photo we have. That's the only actual proof that we have that exists. Everything else right now is a rumor. There's rumors it could be a modular camera where like the handle detaches and it has different grips and different battery grips. It has a screen that seems that like it flips vertically and horizontally, so you'll record both like, you know, cell phone footage or like video camera footage, basically.
If you transition between the two or at the same time, what do you think?
That's remains to be seen. Like hopefully you'll have like a square shape sensor or like it'll shoot open frame.
Something that GoPro has done in that type of, not form factor, but in like a smaller form factor camera. So an action cam. So I would love to see that. It feels like Insta360 just takes the idea that is out there and just improves upon it tremendously. They did that with the drone. I know it's technically a different company with anti-gravity. It's a sub-brand of Insta360, but their drone technology compared with the 360 camera is just, you know, leagues ahead of what DJI is doing in terms, like DJI has the best cameras. DJI, you know, the Maverick and, you know, their mini drones are great, but pairing a 360 camera with a drone equals I don't have to turn a gimbal while I'm flying a drone. I'm just paying attention and reframing the shot later because it's 360, it's capturing everything. I feel like they're going to do that same thing with this, like, you know, pocket stick camera that they have. And I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. It looks pretty exciting. And then the rumors of DJI Pocket 4 look also pretty interesting. It's like a bigger sensor for me, 3 cameras. Yeah.
So DJI Pocket 4, we said it's a rival to, you know, that camera, but that technically doesn't exist yet. They're only up to the DJI Pocket 3. But all the rumors point to DJI releasing a new version very, very soon. So Insta360 might have a big rival to what we're seeing based on that single photo that we've seen. Okay, so iOS 26 or ahead of that, Apple keeps running into problems with its Gemini-powered Siri. So it's chatbot-like virtual assistant, big refresh. They've been kind of teasing this for months, or at least the rumor mill has indicated they've been working on a giant refresh that is going to revamp what we know and hate about Siri.
Yeah.
Max, tell us what might not be coming as soon as we actually hoped.
Yeah, so this has been a work in progress since WWDC 2024, right? So Apple's been trying to revamp Siri, make it smarter, inject some of the chatbot-like AI that we've seen in Alexa by now. We've seen Gemini, we've seen ChatGPT. They just signed a huge deal with Google to integrate Gemini's AI models into Siri to make it smarter, and it was supposed to debut in iOS 26.4. That was the big expectation. That was the big rumor. It looks like that's going to fall apart now too. So Apple's had nothing but problems trying to develop Siri in the background.
In the AI world too. It's just like it's only isolated to that, which is surprising.
It seems so interesting to me how Apple just can't seem to get it right. So they, like, after battling with their own AI models, their own in-house AI models, not being able to get them to work the way that they wanted to, they switched to Gemini. They're now in the process of integrating Gemini into Siri.
Over OpenAI's ChatGPT too.
Correct. Right. Over Perplexity, over Claude, which they were rumored to maybe integrate. Turns out no, it's just Gemini. Not like it looks like a lot of these features aren't going to ship with 26.4. Maybe a couple of them will, but the bigger picture version of Siri with Gemini integrated, probably not till iOS 26.5 or .6 if there's a .6 update.
Right.
Or everything's just going to be pushed off to iOS 27. So like they're in this weird limbo phase where they're like they might ship a couple features this spring. They might wait to ship others. One of the big ones that they're supposed to be delaying is the ability for Siri to understand all of your personal data on your phone and bring you contextual prompts and stuff, and be able to tie deeper into the iOS experience that way. That looks like it's going to be delayed for some amount of time. It's unclear how long. It could wind up shipping before iOS 27 is a thing, but I feel like Apple's probably just going to take their sweet time with this, because at this point, why not? Let's just wait till like next year to ship all this stuff. I mean, who's even looking forward to this at this point?
I feel like someone told them that
Besides
we're
stockholders.
not going to leave if iMessage is not part of Android. So they know that they're pretty comfortable.
They can take their sweet time. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have that ability because AirDrop is now on Android, which is a huge deal. But really, the linchpin is this iMessage, walled garden. That they're able to do what they want. And
they do that all the time. So like, it's not like it's unexpected. It's just Apple's been trying to get AI right for so long, so publicly, and have had to like be like, we had to delay this because it just wasn't right. It wasn't up to our standards or whatever.
It's not a surprise anymore.
It isn't, but they did like low key admit like last year, like, we couldn't get anything working the right way. They just kept failing. Our models kept failing. So we're going to switch to something else.
Right. What's interesting is I think this comes from Max Weinbach, who was a guest on the show last week, that inside Apple, they're using Claude, but yet they still went with Gemini for the partnership for using Siri.
Mark Gurman said something along those lines from Bloomberg.
That was who it was from,
I think they're using a lot of Perplexity. They're using a lot of Claude for like their own internal like AI tools that they've built just for like employees to use.
Right, a lot of coding.
And then in the end, they just went with Gemini, which they get for $1 billion a year.
And I think the reasoning was, if I recall, it was that Claude, or Anthropic, who has owns Claude, wanted more money, a lot more money.
Yes.
And they kind of overshot their budget for,
which I think is like the style of Anthropic, the style of OpenAI. It's like, we know what we have and we're going to charge you a ton of money for that.
Right.
Google's just like, we've been sitting on this AI stuff for like years. It's collecting dust. We need to start moving some of these servers. Why don't you guys use some? We'll charge you $1 billion a year. What's that to you?
And what's interesting is Google on the back end is going to do exactly what they did with search, right? Where actually they're paying Apple to be the default search provider.
I'm sure there's some loophole agreement in there where Apple's somehow profiting from this deal with Google.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of profit that we as consumers don't see for, say, shopping results, right? Google's gonna probably insert a lot of ads. OpenAI is doing that same thing right now. So there's a lot of money if Google is only getting paid $1 billion, and I'm sure Anthropic wanted more than that. Google's probably thinking, we're just going to make that much money and more on shopping results and e-commerce when the listings go live and someone asks for something specific. So super interesting. Adam, what is the latest iPhone that you have, and are you still waiting for us to upgrade you?
Don't do this. I'm stuck in the past, and you take pleasure from reminding everyone that I'm stuck in the past.
He doesn't actually even have an iPhone; it's an iPod.
It's an iPod Touch.
It's an iPod Shuffle. It doesn't have a screen or anything.
He somehow Adam jammed a SIM card into the iPod and got it working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my Frankenstein phone, and it's fantastic. Now I have the iPod Pro. You've got me doing it now. I don't have an iPod. I have the iPhone Pro 13. I think the battery capacity is nearly 72%, so it's really struggling nowadays. But it's still, it's still functional. It still works.
I think we found Adam's wedding gift right there. We're gonna pull our money and buy him. Which one do you have? The iPhone 12? 13?
You know what?
13.
Let's play
13
Pro.
Okay, 13 Pro. So iPhone 14 Pro, we can manage, right?
Let's give him an iPhone 13 mini. Just be like, you didn't want one of these?
Matt, I think I could just give him an iPhone 15 Pro. I just have laying around or something like that.
That's not the point, even.
Just laying around. You see how it's just
Things
It's
are
just not
easier in the
for-
States, pal. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, right.
Except for
I know,
healthcare.
I know. I'm going back to dial-up rotary phones. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh yeah.
iOS powered
I love it.
rotary phone. I love it. All right. iOS 26, speaking of iOS 26.3 just released, and it has like this hidden feature. It makes switching to Android easier. Why would Apple do this, Max? And what is the benefit? Is this going to make people switch?
It's definitely not going to make anybody switch to Android from iPhone. It's a bit less painless because instead of having to plug in a wire, you can now just do the whole thing wirelessly. If you keep your iPhone and your new Android phone close to each other, you just hit that transfer to Android button in the settings app, and it can move over all your photos, your messages, transfer your apps. It can even do your phone number using like carrier stuff in the background. It's just like a neat little like bonus feature if you ever decide to switch away from iPhone. I feel like this is just like they're just anticipating EU regulators getting pissed off again.
Right. They can point to this during the next hearing and be like,
Yes.
yeah, Adam knows more about this than anybody.
Yeah.
It's definitely the EU. It's got their hands all over it.
100%. Because there's another feature hidden in iOS 26.3, which lets like third-party smartwatches display notifications, like full notifications on their smartwatches from your iPhone. That's not something that third-party smartwatches can do in the States, but in the EU, it's a thing. So like they're just anticipating the EU just getting pissed at them regularly, and they're like, we're just going to try to appease them as much as we can while still keeping true to our Apple core and just being like, yeah, we want everybody to use our stuff.
I feel
and
like
stay locked in.
The overregulation of the EU is how they make their money, because their GDP is not really doing as well as, say, other countries like the United States or countries in Asia. And it's like, oh, how can we fine all the companies in the United States and all the Asian countries and make up for the loss in GDP? So that's something that we've seen that since like the days of Facebook, where they just like pick fights, and I'm just like, eventually these companies whittle down these allotments that they have to owe the EU, but it's still money in the bank for the EU nations and the regulatory body there. I have a fear that our live show might have one of those accept cookies.
Accept all the cookies.
Right. They're like, oh, you're about to tune into a show that is not regulated. You may see things and hear things that you do not like, right? Like that's the type of regulation that they have. It's a little overkill for the tech industry, but this is probably a move to satiate that on Apple's part.
I feel like most people will appreciate this though, if they ever like want to swap.
Sure. I think so. I think Apple's time should be better spent elsewhere. I think we appreciate it as reviewers of phones because we constantly switch. But I don't know how much people get a use out of this, but it's nice to see. But yeah, I think Apple's time should be allotted to improving Apple Intelligence.
Just fix Siri, man.
Yeah,
like, what are we doing?
That's probably a higher priority.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Closing us out, Adam has news about this game, High Guard. So High Guard may suffer the same fate as this PS5 game that you may or may not remember. And if you don't remember, well, there's a good reason. Concord, where that closed in a matter of 2 weeks. So what's happening with High Guard, this game that looked promising, but has run into some trouble?
Yeah, so basically a couple of weeks ago, we touched on the fact that High Guard had just launched, nearly hit 100,000 concurrent on Steam, which was a good start for a game that headlined it, ended the show, the Game Awards. Jeff Keighley did a whole introduction. He was so confident. Everyone thought, here we go. It's not looking good, guys. It's really not looking good. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, the player base had dropped dramatically. And now it turns out that Wildlight Entertainment, who are the studio behind High Guard, have made a statement. They've laid off a lot of staff. That's not good for a game that launched on January 27th, I believe it was, or 26th, sorry. And it's now averaging about 1,000 to 3,000 players. 95% of players aren't returning to this game. So it is unfortunately getting compared to Concord, which it was before it released, because it's another hero shooter. multiplayer, free to play, although Concord you had to pay, which was even worse of a deal. But it's just not looking good for a game which was, the highlight, or the game that Jeff Keighley, who hosts the Game Awards, thought was deserving of the final slot on the show. And its days are numbered at this rate. It needs to do. Free-to-play games are all about continuing players who return to the game, purchase skins, make microtransactions, keep it healthy, continue developers, encourage them to do updates. If the player base isn't there, if the player base isn't spending any money, TikTok is all I can say on that.
it does remind me of TikTok in terms of, like scrolling through Instagram Reels, for example. If you don't grab someone's attention within the first 2 seconds, they swipe on, right? I feel like this is just what's happening with games these days, in that you mentioned there's 100,000 people at launch that are playing this game, and then they grow tired of it very, very quickly. The ability to grab people's attention, and even if they do in the beginning, it's like, this is a great game, it's A+. We just move on to the next thing. We do that with news. We do that with Instagram Reels. We do it with everything. And I just feel like that's going to affect how games are developed, and AAA games, and the amount of money that publishers are going to pay developers to create these long episodic games that are meant for playing for an entire year, if not more. It's going to probably drive it down to smaller games like the Xbox Live Arcade, stuff like that, right? Where it's quicker hits, and we're seeing games like that were huge, like Uncharted or God of War, become less relevant and bigger risks for Sony and Microsoft and other publishers out there.
Yeah, it's good timing that you mentioned that as well, because a game has just launched recently called Mugenics, and it's by the guy who made Binding of Isaac, which was a massively popular game on PC. However, this game has been in development for 7 years. It's a game where you basically take different types of cats, breed them, they come out with different abilities and negative buffs and stuff. That game now is one of the Steam top sellers. It's done over 300,000 copies. Apparently, they made the development budget back in 3 days or hours, maybe. Amazing. Even. By all accounts, an indie title. Mm-hmm. And the problem with games like Highguard is there's so many other titles like this which they require you to log in daily, complete missions, almost become like a mini job, learn the game, get good at the game, find some friends who also want to play the game. It's more than just going, do you like this game? Do you want to have a bit of fun? It's almost like taking on, a huge commitment. And if that game cannot grip you, like you said, you're just going to leave it. And that, as we've seen, you don't go from 100,000 players at launch to basically 2,000. That's a huge drop off. And that's why, because people play it, they go, nah, I'm not prepared to give my time to this. There's Fortnite, there's PUBG, there's Call of Duty, there's Pokopia coming out for Nintendo Switch 2. There's just more out there, and gamers are fickle. Gamers go where their friends go, or what grabs them, or if it's something different, something unique, better price point, you name it, they'll find a way to go, I'm not playing that.
I'm just sticking to Sudoku on my phone, I think. I'm good.
Yeah.
That's enough for me. Yeah.
That's fair.
Is that Disney Sudoku, or is it just regular Sudoku?
Damn it, Adam. He's making another Aegis joke.
I almost missed that one. That was subtle. That was good.
See, I told you, he's really good at these.
Oh, he's been saving these up.
I'm getting good. I'm getting dangerously good at them. But no, Sudoku's great. Mm-hmm. Sudoku is good.
It's gripping.
Yeah. No kids at the wedding. That killed me.
That was an off air.
That was great. But yeah, that is our show for today. I know we're at time, but it's an hour-long show. Do rewind, do like and subscribe. But the top of the show, a lot of Sony stuff with the earbuds, with the headphones. If you saw that tease, we're streaming live every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, at 10 a.m. Pacific. So we welcome you back. We welcome your comments, even though it costs me money. And yeah, we will see you in exactly 23 hours. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, guys.
Peace.
See you later.